Mazepin is doing, honestly.
Oh, no.
That's what people hate you.
What do you get when a billionaire pulls strings to land his son a seat in the most exclusive racing series on Earth, Formula One? You get Nikita Mazepin. A driver remembered not for race wins,
It's Mazepin, I think it is.
Mazepin will never change.
but for spins, crashes, and penalties that far outnumbered his points. And off the track, his reputation somehow got even worse. A scandalous video, legal disputes, and fan outrage left many wondering if he ever belonged in F1 to begin with. While most drivers grind through years of proving themselves, Mazepin arrived with his father's billions paving the way, and left as one of the sport's most disliked names. So how did his career nosedive so quickly? Let's break down how Nikita Mazepin went from Russian rich kid to the face of Formula One's pay driver problem. Nikita Mazepin was born in Moscow in 1999. Like many aspiring drivers, his first steps came in karting. And to be fair, he wasn't talentless. He won a Russian national karting title and even finished second at the 2014 CIK World Championship, behind a kid you may have heard of.
Lando Norris, second place Johan Darivula, and well, what do you think from our television pictures? Is Nikita Mazepin in third place getting a little bit closer?
Lando Norris. That sounds impressive, but here's the reality. Karting is packed with youngsters posting similar or better results. What separates future champions from the rest isn't just podiums at age 14, it's consistency, raw pace, and the ability to rise through the levels. Mazepin? He had flashes of skill, sure, but what really made the difference for him was money. Unlimited money. His father, Dmitry Mazepin, is a billionaire industrialist. He controlled chemical giants Uralchem and Uralkali, two of Russia's largest fertilizer companies. Dmitry's influence shaped Nikita's career from the beginning. Wherever Nikita raced, his father's sponsorship was right there with him, plastered on cars and banners. And that changes everything. For most families, even one season of Formula 3 is an impossible financial burden. For the Mazepins, it was pocket change. Doors that stay shut for most kids opened easily for Nikita. Mazepin moved into the FIA European Formula 3 Championship in 2016. His rookie season was brutal. He was nowhere near the front and looked far from future F1 material. In 2017, he made some progress. He managed a couple of podiums here and there.
Nikita Mazepin is P3, and on the podiums,
But still nothing that screamed, the next big thing. By 2018, a switch to GP3
For the first time in 2018, GP3 is underway.
finally gave him momentum.
Nikita Mazepin wins in GP3.
He won 2 races, scored multiple podiums, and even fought for the title. He ended the season runner-up, his best result yet. For once, it seemed like he was proving himself. But even then, the spotlight wasn't his. Antoine Hubert beat him to the championship and earned the admiration that Mazepin craved. Nikita had numbers on the board, but he wasn't dominating the way champions usually do. The following year in Formula 2 was a disaster.
The rest of the field and Matsushita heavily into the wall and hit again by Nikita Mazepin. Big impact into the Tech Pro to surely bring
0 podiums, 0 wins, and a miserable 18th in the standings. It looked like his climb had stalled out. He bounced back in 2020, grabbing 2 wins, several podiums,
on track, hangs on to take the checkered flag. What a battle between these two, resolved in favor of Nikita Mazepin, who wins
and
it's
5th in the standings. On paper, that sounds decent. But context matters. That same year, Mick Schumacher won the title. Yuki Tsunoda finished 3rd, and both were instantly promoted to F1 on merit. Mazepin's results weren't awful, but they weren't enough for people to see him as a future star. Even his brightest moment, a 2nd place with fastest lap in Hungary, was clouded by controversy. He was slapped with multiple penalties for reckless driving, including a disqualification at Spa for forcing a rival off track. These weren't isolated moments either. They were a pattern that followed him through the paddock, making teams and fans alike question if he had the temperament to race at the highest level. So when Haas announced him as one of their F1 drivers for 2021, most fans didn't see a promising rookie. They saw a billionaire's son buying in. Their suspicions were confirmed almost immediately. Uralkali, his father's company, became Haas's title sponsor. The car itself was painted in Russian flag colors. It couldn't have been clearer. Nikita wasn't there because of talent. He was there because of money. The Haas lineup for 2021 felt like a cruel joke. Mick Schumacher, son of the 7-time world champion, paired with Nikita Mazepin, son of a Russian oligarch. One name carried the weight of motorsport royalty. The other carried controversy before even hitting the track. And controversy hit fast. In December 2020, just weeks after signing, Mazepin posted an Instagram Instagram story of himself groping a woman in a car. The video disappeared within hours, but the backlash didn't. Fans launched the hashtag #WeSayNoToMazepin, demanding Haas cut ties immediately. Haas condemned the video as abhorrent, but didn't take any further action, a decision that angered many and tarnished their reputation before the season had begun. When the season finally began with the Bahrain Grand Prix, things only got worse.
Down towards turn 4 and that's off, and that looks like a Haas, and it could have been Nikita Mazepin in the Haas.
Mazepin spun out and crashed just 3 corners into his debut race. Less than a minute of track time, and he was done. The internet quickly crowned him with a new nickname, Mazepin. And that moment wasn't a one-off. It set the tone for his entire year. In Portugal, he earned a penalty for ignoring blue flags and not moving aside for faster cars.
Michael, blue flags. Michael, this guy makes us lose the position.
Throughout the year, he was also consistently the slowest car on track. Race after race, he was painfully off the pace, often multiple tenths, sometimes more than a full second, slower than his teammate Schumacher. In a sport where teammates are separated by tenths of a second, that gap is monumental. Even his so-called best finish, 14th in Azerbaijan, was overshadowed by a near disaster. As Schumacher attempted to overtake on the final straight, Mazepin swerved dangerously, nearly sending both cars into the wall. Schumacher raged over team radio.
What the f was that, honestly? Seriously? Does he want to kill us?
Understood, Nick, understood. Check it.
Asking if his teammate was trying to kill them both. The incident became a talking point across F1 media, cementing Mazepin's reputation as reckless and unpredictable. The situation between the two drivers only got worse, with reports pointing to growing friction inside the Haas garage over Mazepin's aggressive driving style. As tensions grew inside Haas, outside, fans had already made up their minds. Memes, hashtags, and online compilations of his spins flooded social media. Mazepin wasn't just struggling, he was being ridiculed. By the end of the season, he had scored 0 points, finished last in the championship, and built a reputation as one of the least capable drivers in modern F1 history. But if 2021 damaged his reputation, 2022 ended his career. In February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. Almost overnight, Haas dropped Uralkali as their title sponsor and terminated Mazepin's contract.
I have lost my contract to compete in the Formula 1 World Championship this year.
Without his father's money, he lost his F1 seat instantly. The fallout didn't stop there. Both Dmitry and Nikita were sanctioned by the EU and UK for their Kremlin ties. Their assets, including a €100 million Sardinian villa, were frozen. Haas even became entangled in a legal battle with Uralkali over sponsorship money, reportedly worth around $9 million. Mazepin, unsurprisingly, painted himself as a victim. He blamed cancel culture and politics for his exit. But to fans, the story was simple. His F1 career had never been built on merit, and the war merely sped up the inevitable. Since then, Mazepin has made noise about a comeback, but no team has shown interest. Between his lackluster results, PR baggage, and sanctions, his name has become toxic in F1 circles. In endurance racing, however, he has found limited success. With the team he co-founded, 99 Racing, Mazepin won races in the Asian Le Mans Series, including victories at Dubai and Sepang, proving he could still compete outside the F1 spotlight. Yet despite these wins, his reputation within Formula 1 circles remains beyond repair. Even off the track, the shadow of Mazepin's past follows him. Interviews after his F1 exit often show Mazepin striking a defensive tone, insisting he was unfairly treated, while rarely acknowledging his own mistakes. For F1 enthusiasts and analysts, this unwillingness to accept responsibility became another reason why sympathy for him never materialized. Meanwhile, drivers who lost out on seats to him, such as Callum Ilott or Robert Schwartzman, are frequently cited as more deserving talents who might have made better use of the opportunity. These comparisons only deepen the sense that Mazepin's F1 career was a squandered chance bought at the expense of others. Yes, it's true that Formula 1 has always had pay drivers. From the sport's earliest days, money has bought seats. But Nikita Mazepin became the ultimate example of what happens when money outweighs talent. He had every resource imaginable. What he lacked was pace, consistency, and respect. And in a sport as ruthless as Formula 1, no checkbook is big enough to cover those gaps.